and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Oh, Fat Nice Smackdown. AEW Dynamite.
Collision.
Pay-per-views, premium live events, we have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week completes with a bloody good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review NXT. God damn it, I've missed this show. Oh, I loved it.
Oh my God.
I've missed this podcast. Did it yesterday.
Yeah, no, literally since Dynamite.
Yeah.
Whenever we're not in the studio, I'm missing it, guys. I love you. This show, not so much.
This might be one of my favourite shows of the year, genuinely.
This individual episode of NXT.
I loved it. I bloody loved it.
I don't know what this is at the moment. I don't know what NXT is. It's not rubbish. It's not rubbish.
Definitely not.
A lot of
Fairly sure it is.
Sidge watches every week, so he's allowed to. A lot of people just go online and just flat out lie about this show. Like, they're not watching, they don't care, they'll see a clip. Some of it looks like pornography, but it's not good either. It is absolutely not good.
It's not good.
I know this.
Yeah,
Like,
thank you.
I know
You're coming around.
but it was good for a bit. I like the world.
It was perversely fun.
Maybe just that, but I like the world. I like a lot of the people in it. I don't like anybody in this world. Like, I think it's a real hate-filled cast of characters right now. I like a few of them. We'll get to them. I like a few of them. I think the story's very interesting. I don't sense a lot of development. I think a few people are going backwards, actually. I don't know what NXT is at the moment. This week really hit me. I don't know what's going
the
on.
opposite
It is
for me.
absolute generic, middling slop enjoyed by utter hypocrites.
Disagree. I had a really good time watching this show. I think the build to Stand and Deliver has been
wasn't personal.
awesome. I think the Ricky Starks is a champion. Tony fumbled. I don't know what else to say about that, really. Quicker champion.
Did he say more?
Get his name right, that'll be good.
And, well, let's get into this show because there was a...
We'll speak on the fumble thing at the end there.
Well,
No, we will, so...
I mean, he's wearing a title suit, so he's a champion now. Clearly,
Looks like that is fastest ever champion in NXT history. Faster than Ethan Page. Another Tony Fumble. So we get into the show with the double champ for the time being.
This time next year, probably have to have a Royal Rumble of Tony Fumbles. 30 of them. 30 great mistakes.
Stephanie Vaquer is in the ring.
God, this sucks.
Yeah, what the f*** was this?
I know
exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is.
I had a problem with this, but thankfully Stephanie Vaquer very quickly won me over, so it was all good. General Manager
Why?
Ava, just with the way she explained it, we'll get into it. General Manager Ava, I'm going to say she's Rock General Manager of NXT, in the ring with her, and Ava says, ever since Stephanie stepped foot in NXT, she's shown why she is La Primera.
You're La Primera.
She puts over the double title retention last week, but she says, look, both titles need to be defended, and Stephanie's going to relinquish the Women's North American Championship. That is going to be determined, the new champion, in a ladder match.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Stand and Deliver just got even better, baby.
He's such a loser.
Qualifying matches start tonight.
Such a phony.
Stephanie says that's not a popular decision, but look, NXT's given her opportunities, and she wants to do the same for everyone else. She wants to push the division, so she is going to relinquish the title, but only under one condition, and that is she picks who she faces at Stand and Deliver. And I was like, there it is. That's why this show's so bloody good. Jordan Grace enters to interrupt Stephanie Vaquer. Apologizes for interrupting again, but is happy that Stephanie gets to pick her opponent, and basically says, with Jada Parker out of the picture, let's do the match we all want to see, the Juggernaut versus La Primera. First time ever on NXT's biggest stage. But Jada Parker is not out of the picture. She interrupts next.
She's in the picture, if anything.
Yeah. She said, if you, Jordan Grace, had stayed on the ground where I left your race, I'd have beaten Stephanie Vaquer and I would have the NXT Women's Championship around my waist. I was this close. She teases running it back, but Jordan says, no, you had your chance. You fumbled it. Show fumbles. You might not understand how titles work since you've never won one, but it's time to go back of the line. And Stephanie Vaquer says, you clearly look like you need to work things out, and they get physical. Jada gets knocked to the outside. Security runs in, and then one of them just gets yeeted onto, everyone on the outside. What an opening to this show.
No.
I will say that this is not quite the same situation as what happened with Keith Lee.
Absolutely
exactly
not. Completely different.
Hang on, Sid. Hang on, right? They did that in 2020 as like an absolute, like, shameless ratings ploy. Great American Bash, wasn't it? Like the 2-week thing. Like, not a concern anymore, obviously. They're battering Dynamite. This time around...
Not in the demo.
Julia was... come on. Julia was...
Come on.
Come on. It's pathetic. Julia was... you're above this, Sid. Julia was injured.
Beat them in the demo.
Come on, Sid. Grow up.
Have you seen the Max?
I wrote about it yesterday. WhatCulture.com/WWE. They're excellent. AEW is doing very, very well. Like, back to
How do you believe those sources, obviously? Some people will, some people might not.
That's
just a convenient number to hit, isn't it? Just take you over
What's
$1 million.
going on?
Just convenient, isn't it? Anyway, we're talking about NXT.
She was injured. Julia was injured. and there was a... Or am I? Yes, I am. Could it be? Or could it?
I'm just asking questions.
She was injured.
Yes, sorry.
This obviously wasn't the plan. But they should have come up with a better one. They should have come up with a better one if the goal was...
Did they think just in the next week, and they were like, we'll do that, and then we'll do a double title defense, and then, oh, bollocks, what are we doing to start to deliver?
Yeah, really, really dumb. Like, strap up Stephanie Vaquer, by all means. Like, make her the world champion. She was the right person to have it. Probably before Julia, truthfully. But think of something better. Think of something better than this. This is where it's like Keith Lee, because... Like, no, and that's the end of wrestling. 7 days later. Oh, like, what a mess we've made. It's just weak, isn't it?
It's worse than weak. It's absolutely pathetic. They've done this before. They will do it again. Why is it such... it sounds like such a great idea. Unifying the titles, big match. Oh, actually, that's a rubbish idea. Like, it is absolutely rubbish, pathetic booking. Do WWE come NXT think their fans are so stupid, so dumb, that they'll buy one thing and then 2 weeks later they'll buy the complete opposite?
Good question.
And I'm just asking them. So it's absolute slop. It's absolutely rubbish. The continued existence of this show and its moderate popularity makes me lose faith in my already just vanished, like, belief and trust and the general public
in the world.
Yeah, I hate them so much, bro. Like, it's a terrible show. Terrible show.
Like, of all the wrestlers that could have been defending the belts twice, credibly, it was her as well.
Yeah,
I'm sort of into that.
They could have just gone, we'll do a triple threat. So she doesn't. If you're like, we have to take the title off her, but I don't want to pin her, obviously, while she's world champion.
Kurt Angle did it at WrestleMania 16. There was loads of different ways.
If you don't want her to work twice on Stand and Deliver, which is fair enough, if you're going to do a big match with Jordan Grace,
they could have even weeks ago, like, knowing that like the story was out that Julia was either injured or had some knocks, whatever, or she
banged up.
Yeah. That they were going to take the belt off her, and that's why they kind of rushed that match rather than, I guess probably something that Stand and Deliver. Who knows? Even then, couldn't they like just borrowed the TNA option C thing and said, like, you can go for the title, but you know how this works. We can't have double champions. We don't do double champions. You're going to have to forfeit the North American to go for the world.
Still burying the North American women's title. You know what I mean? It's the same difference, but more elegant.
Yeah, it's okay to call it a secondary title.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, like it's sort of, it's not ideal, but it's okay to say you have to give that one up. It's a secondary belt.
Yeah.
And they didn't even do that. They just...
Or... stick with me here.
What are you cooking up?
Have someone who isn't Stephanie Vaquer be Julia. Yeah.
Interesting. Who you got in mind, Sidge?
Jordan Grace, anyone? Anyone not named Stephanie Vaquer?
But then, how do you book a really dangerous ladder match?
You don't.
That's where you've gone wrong, mate.
Yeah, that's where you messed up.
If you're not risking 5 people's bodies, livelihoods, 6 of WrestleMania weekend, what are you doing?
Buzzing for that ladder match.
Yeah,
some of them. The first one was so great.
Some of them
last year in the Apex, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you got like Shawn Razor. Yeah. You've got, first Money in the Bank.
Sorry, why does Shawn Razor sound like an NXT wrestler?
I know.
Give it time.
And then, of course, you've got the that classic women's ladder match from last year's.
Sunday, yeah. No.
Oh,
I can't even remember the show.
No, I can't remember.
it was in the Apex.
Battleground,
Oh,
was it?
yeah.
Battleground?
I don't think it's called that, Sid.
What's it called?
It's NXT Battleground. You grounded! Battleground.
So
was in Vegas,
great.
wasn't
So great. Such a great match. What was your favourite spot from it?
The whole thing, I don't want to boil it down to be so simplistic and talk about a specific spot. Or whole thing. I'll watch it again probably tonight.
Who's in it?
All the biggest stars. That's the best thing about it. Just like we're going to get. Stand and deliver.
Some of them, I'm not being critical, just take the piss out of them. It's a developmental territory in some respects. Some of them, every now and then, will whiff a little bit on a bump from a headlock takeover. And now they got to fall off ladders.
Yeah.
Just do it, don't they?
Yeah.
2.5 weeks, baby. Let's go. Speaking of which, Trick Williams had posted a thing to social media.
A ladder match when they're going to have 2 hours sleep.
Oh, yeah.
If you factor in nerves and the late night and then the on-call time, you're looking at about 4 hours if you're lucky.
Yeah. Can't wait, baby.
We're just ending sentences with baby. That's what we did. Baby.
Trick's called out Oba. Oba's interviewed on his way to the ring and says Trick's going to find out the hard way why he shouldn't call out the ruler of NXT. And speaking of the women's ladder match, actually, you'll never guess what they did immediately after that. They all bickered about who was going to be in it and win it. And
yeah. This was bad as well.
It always is.
Yeah, it's always terrible.
There's a nice line about it. The only thing you know about putting a belt around you is shaking your ass. That was good stuff.
Is it?
Was it?
She does it. She shakes your ass.
Shake your ass, baby.
Shakes your ass, baby.
We got our first qualifier. I really like this match. It was Zaria versus Lash Legend.
Kind of fell apart.
Power game early on between the two of them. Zaria nailed Lash and Lash fired back with a huge chop. Lash kicked.
Well done. That was
nice.
great. That was so well done.
Lash kicked Zaria to the floor and their partners, Jakara Jackson, Sol Ruka out there. They're arguing. We go to a break. We come back. Zaria comes off the ropes into a big shot from Lash. She gets Zaria on her shoulders for a torture rack. Zaria makes it to her feet and they take each other down with clotheslines. Zaria tries for a suplex, gets it, splash in the corner. Lash runs into a boot. Zaria leaps off the middle turnbuckle but gets caught and hit with a nice backbreaker by Lash Legend. There's a powerbomb attempt from Legend that gets countered by Zaria. Pump kick, German suplex. Zaria charges at Lash, trying to hit with a spear, but Lash leapfrogs. And Zaria bounces off the ropes into a big choke slam from Lash Legend for a 2 count. Zaria gets Lash on her shoulders. Lash escapes into the ropes. Zaria with a huge spear and an F5 to get the 1, 2, 3 and qualifies the first person for stand and deliver.
It scanned a little bit as an upset, this, and that speaks to the success they've had with Lash Legend. She does. I wasn't surprised she lost because Zaria is a project in and of itself, but it did make me think that, I know a call-up isn't just a magic wand, right, you're off and running. You can't push everyone at once. You do have to have people that are there to lose. Lash Legend probably shouldn't be one at this point. Maybe call up her and Jakara Jackson and let's see what we're going to get with them properly. I'm not saying there isn't still work to be done in her development. I think you could see that at points in this match as well. But the intangibles that they are there and have been there a while. Maybe time to take a gamble on those two. Just call them up, see what if anything sticks about their act on the main roster, because it's probably just not ideal to be there taking losses now, even if you're actually putting somebody over because people receive you as a star, and they do.
I thought this was laid out quite well to the point where I thought Lash Legend was going to win. I don't think they made it too obvious where it was she's getting a lot of the offense here, and it's a TV match. Probably means she's not going to go over. It didn't get too lost, Lash Legend. A longer match than she's been. I think she's really, really good. She knows how to register her stuff to make it seem meaningful and impactful. The fans have completely bought into her. I think she's striking to watch. The problem is that there were a few slip-ups here, and botches and slip-ups never ideal at the best of times. But when you're doing that big I'm a hybrid super athlete, powerful, agile, land on my feet. When you're doing that peacock and showboating match style, if you slip up, you just look like a dick. And that happened to you. And oh my God. Ah!
Is that the return of...
Oh no.
Down with the Sidgwick.
Yeah, I mean, stop. Shut up. You know, you don't have to scream. It's like bloody watching. You just don't have to scream constantly about everything to convey that you're aggressive.
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, I would have preferred Lash Legend in this, to be honest.
Zaria's probably winning the belt, isn't she?
Imagine the grunts going up the ladder. Just be quiet. You sound so obnoxious. When she screams, do you think, God, what an aggressive warrior from the Mad Max desert? Or do you think, oh, man?
Yeah.
A little bit.
So I'll never think she's an aggressive warrior from the Mad Max desert. Probably from the week that I saw her at a skate park.
Yeah.
Pissing about.
And an ice cream, didn't she?
That's it. Bloody ice cream. Have mine. Thanks, Mad Max. Thanks.
It's just...
Say it.
Nope.
I'm outside.
Is that real? Because it's not the usual time.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they're late.
Sorry, it just made me think of it. Like, there's sometimes things happening. Yeah. Guys, is that real? Is that just imagination? Am I just imagining an alarm?
Let's stop now. It's fine.
It's all right.
Right, we see Briggs and Inamura talking. Inamura says stand and deliver is his dream. Briggs says, you'll get there. Wesley and his gang are in there, and they hear this and laugh, get into it with them. And Inamura says he used to like Lee because he had honor, but he hasn't got that anymore. Wesley he challenges Wesley, and Wesley says, we'll have a match. But just like your dreams of stand and deliver, prepare to be disappointed.
Like wheel spin City Jones always, isn't it? Like,
Who cares?
yeah.
Wesley and Inamura would be a good match next week.
Yeah. Sort of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of
Look at it. Yeah.
Good for them. It's like Briggs and stuff. Like he turned heel, and he's doing the where's your honor, man? It's like, well, you sort of turned babyface by default. Where's yours?
Yeah.
Like you gave Inamura a waistcoat. Like, doesn't forgive what you did.
Yeah.
Brooks Jensen, yeah.
Wrestling's rubbish, isn't it?
It's not. It isn't. It's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
We're about to get to my favorite thing ever, I think.
But it can be really
Can't it? It's a case of like
phoned in
fake of like, can't believe you've resorted to kind of what I was doing about 18 months ago. But it's your turn now. So it's just a load of absolute riot. It's, terrible medium.
Kelani Jordan's there with Ava, saying that she's going to make history, basically, at Stand and Deliver, when Roxanne Perez, who I thought was bound for the main roster.
Well, I've got something to say about that.
Okay, she walks in, says, this is perfect. I'll be the first ever
You've
person
gone too early with that.
to win the women's title in every women's title in NXT. Kelani says she's not a stepping stone for Roxy, and Roxy says, oh, congratulations, you actually found a backbone. But they can't both be in the match because Ava reveals they are fighting each other later on.
Kelani Jordan desperately needs to change the way she speaks. It feels like whiny and...
Well, it's another... We have it all the time now. Can you be a heel? I'm not really sure. Well, you're going to be a heel. Really likeable babyface pretty much all last year. We need to do something about that.
Yeah, a bit weak in terms of... I just don't buy anything she's saying. What else you got?
Manufactured anger of the NXT practice being a heel thing that they do. I don't like it on her.
Yeah, it felt weird later on where she's like, you see that out there? See what I did? And I was like, this is a new Kelani. What are you doing?
Stick up female staff for him. Baby.
Right, let's get serious because this was genuinely one of the best things I've ever seen on television. We go to the D'Angelo warehouse, and I was like, what's going on? I was like, I know on Netflix, but I thought I was watching TV shows. Bloody cinema started just all over the bloody place.
The cinema started.
The cinema started all over the place. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean?
Quick, we need to get to the films before we miss the cinema.
Tony's there. All the gang's there, including the heavies. And he wants to know about Dark State. Tony says,
Why? Why does one know about Dark State? Oh, Jesus Christ. hell. I probably didn't pay attention last week. Why does he care about Dark State? Did they interfere or something?
Good question. Good cue. I don't have a name.
They're always out and about, aren't they? Always a threat. Any threat to NXT is a threat to the family. So, right. One second. It's gonna be a while here. Oh, says Tony. What do you got for me? Luca. First on the docket is a Dion Lennox. Dion's a bit of a puzzle. 6'2", 248 pounds. Came to NXT as his bookworm, fooling everybody.
A puddle.
Turns out he was a linebacker for Oregon State University. 3-time team captain.
Wikipedia.
Oh, there's your snake. Turns out this kid's got a mouth. I was speaking to a few of his former teammates and they told me he's a hothead with a short temper. He broke a teammate's jaw.
I was talking to the teammates earlier today, and they told me.
As opposed to a hothead who is actually quite calm.
He broke a teammate's jaw in the locker room for missing a formation. But Dion has a brain, multiple college degrees, specializing in psychology. Oh! Manipulative and explosive. It's a powerful duo, dog.
Sound like Nico Bellic.
Oh. We've got a long way to go. Come on. Okay, that's one out of the way. We've got 3 more.
I think the family need to go get some intel on the Miz. He beat the John Cena at WrestleMania.
Chris Jericho, he beat Steve Austin and The Rock in the same night.
2 WWE championships, boss. And a hot wife.
I love this
With
one.
big canes.
He's got the big balls, he says.
Almost as big as his wife's cans.
Jesus.
Come on, man, hurry up.
I was watching this game. I love this. But bloody hell. This is going on like 4 minutes, lads. Okay, so, got Dion Lennox. Oh! Bookworm Clark Kent my ass.
Bookworm, what, my ass?
Clark Kent. We called
That's
it.
the whole deal, wasn't it?
We did say it.
Jesus Christ, it's Dion Lennox.
That would be great if they were like, we've got these 3 guys. Maybe just the 4th one. I have no idea who it is. Wait a second, someone draw some glasses up. It's Dion Lennox. Oh, right. He somehow got all 4 of these guys together. And then got there. Now to the next one. Oh, who's this guy? This is Osiris Griffin. 6'3", 280 pounds. They keep getting bigger, Doran.
In descending order.
I never gonna mind.
A former SEC defensive lineman for Syracuse University. 155 tackles and 60 games played.
Luca Crucifino takes care of the
Dad. It's like a fucking baby wanting its father. Dad.
It's all the good stuff.
Right. Where are we? He broke his own quarterback's ribs in a spring game. This big guy's brash, right? But he's not just a dumb meathead. He's a high school coach told me that Griffin has great instincts and anticipation for his opponents and next move. Oh, well, we found the thinker of the group. It's all right, he'll get tired. Who else you got for me? Oh, thank God, it's no more Luke. Okay. Hey, I looked into Cutler James, and he was a high-level wrestler. From Duke. Tony's like, oh, I knew I didn't like this guy, Duke. Exactly, I can't. So much to go. Exactly, an academic All-American. This guy's got an unlimited gas tank. He likes breaking guys' wills and their spirit. This guy did Spartan goddamn races. He carried logs on his frickin' back running through the mud. Oh, all right, I seen it. Swim through ice water, walk on fire. This guy's a wannabe John Wick. What you got for me, Stacks? Saquon Sugar.
Oh, totally take me out of it.
This guy's the wild card of Dark State. Real slick city kid from DC.
Real slick City Jones. Let's do a video package, bro.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Sidge, what was that for the people who missed that?
Let's do a video package,
No,
bro.
just before that.
Real slick City Jones.
Oh, God.
I knew you two had warmed to the show.
That's friggin'... That's like, in the office when they make Oscar go in character. The seeds and the dirt. Oh, Christ.
He did a little wrestling in high school, but he earned his degree from the pavement.
Fight, listen.
Oh! So we got a not-so-smart kind of guy, huh? Actually, Don, this guy turned down an offer from Harvard. Oh, why? I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. I used all my connections with this one. The thing people kept saying is, people follow him. They listen to him. Oh, because of fear? Nah, this guy's a smooth talker, T. He's a charmer. Gets people to feel like they've been best friends with him since they were in diapers. Then when he's done with them, he dips, moves on. Oh, well, sounds like we don't have a couple of meatballs trying to get some extra TV time. We got 4 legit badasses. That's all right, because here's what we're going to do. Gee, we got to take the fight to him. Fight fire with freaking fire. Whoa, Stacks. I enjoy the enthusiasm, but you and I both know these guys aren't dummies. They're dangerous. Oh, Stacks, this is your temper talking. I know you want to get these guys. We all do. But the last time you put together a plan, it didn't work out so well for me. So I'm going to need you to trust me, like I trusted you. Can you trust me? Yeah, I trust you, D. Oh, good. Now listen. I'm going to review everything you said. I appreciate the intel. Keep your phones on, all right? He snaps his fingers, and they all leave.
Well,
Give me the Oscar now.
That was a great clever.
well, you know what's weird, right, is that I didn't really know much about Dark State before this.
Now we know everything there is to know.
Because, as it happens, the family were looking for more information.
You want intel, that's where you go.
And I didn't really realise this, but after the fact, I was like, oh, now I know that too. The secret intel that they shared on television. I know all about them.
Absolutely just not on that this is allowed on TV. The standard is... it's rubbish.
It's one of my favourite things I've seen on television all year. In fact, I enjoyed that so much, I've really burnt my throat out. So I'm going to go and get a glass of water, actually, before we move on.
Yeah, I think that's fair, actually.
Yeah,
for
we've
once.
got to give them that one, yeah.
Fair for once.
But, you talk about the biggest threat that you could see in Dark State. I'll be right back.
Sidge, got anything, mate?
I mean, I don't know what to say after that. All I know is that I really hope Dark State don't come around here.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. I want to get my ace kicked. You've heard how dangerous they are at college or something.
Yeah.
Apart from Harvard, why did he not go to Harvard? I'd like more information on that.
Me too.
Hey!
Staxy.
Hey, what do you think of the old research that Staxy did yesterday, huh?
I actually missed last night's NXT. Have you got any intel on Dark State?
I do actually. In fact, who do you want me to start with? I got
I'm ribbing you.
you got me. I'm sorry, by the way. I thought I was going to be a little bit late today. See this whole thing about the clocks? You seen this? You heard about this? The clocks going forward, the clocks going back. What's the deal with clocks, Sidge? Huh?
It's an instrument by which you can tell the time, and for reasons unfathomable to me, they go back in the spring, forward in the autumn,
Other way around. Spring forward, fall back.
spring forward, fall back. Okay, I don't get why they do it.
Something
I know that it upsets people irrationally.
Is it something to do with farms, maybe? Something to do with production of...
Something. But the basic gist of a clock is like, what day is it? What time is it? How much time do I have left in this day? You have a clock for that. It goes all the way from 1 to 12 and back to 1. What? So fun now. Basically, if you want to know the time, you learn it in primary school, Stacks.
You know, actually, I'm glad you told me that. I'm actually about to write a book about a man who makes love to a clock. It's about time. 3 questions.
That's good stuff.
All right.
Write that down for Willie.
Yeah, I'll write it down for Willie. In fact, I actually, a little bonus for you today. Got 3 questions, 3 jokes, and then a little story about clocks I want to tell you. Okay?
All right.
Question
So we
joke
can still
number
get 3
1.
boings.
Oh, absolutely.
Good, that's right.
Sidge, what is the difference between a boy clock and a girl clock?
What,
Goyle
so you stacked?
clock, sorry. I misspoke there
A
somewhat.
Goyle clock.
A Goyle clock, indeed.
But the girl clock's always half an hour late. I'm just getting in his head.
It is what Stacks would
My
say.
wife is very punctual.
Yeah. Mine isn't. Sorry, love, but he's got you there. She'll watch it later on.
Adele?
It is Stacks as well. He's going to go for something like that.
I'm going to go
Sweeping sexist generalization joke.
I'm going to go with, but the girl clock's half an hour late all the time.
Pretty goddamn close. Good night, right, Sidge. What is the difference between a boy clock and a Goyle clock? A boy clock goes tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. And a Goyle clock just talks and talks and talks.
Right avenue, yeah. Right area code for the old punchy, the old punchline.
Old Punsky.
Question joke number 2. What is the difference, Amla, between a grandfather clock and a grandmother clock, huh?
Grandfather clock.
I have no idea.
I don't really want to
Is
venture a guess.
he going to say TikTok and talk, but in old people voices? Is that going to be where this goes? The same punchline, but with...
Ye oldie tick.
Yeah.
Good night, right. I tricked you with that one. What is the difference between a grandfather clock and a grandmother clock? The dong. Question joke number 3.
There it is.
I can't tell that one to James.
Well, tell us one to James. What do a vibrator and a farmer's alarm clock have in common?
Right. The farmer's alarm clock stage is a massive cock.
Yeah.
Gotta be
So what's the
something
punchline again?
What do a vibrator and a farmer's alarm clock have in common?
One of them's, yeah.
Because that's the cock crows, doesn't it, on a farm? That's
I think I smell a spoonerism.
Go on.
Well, I don't know what it is. I just smell one.
Okay. Yeah, there's a whiff of one in the air.
Yeah. Something in the air. One of them's a cuckoo, and the other one's a
Cookie. I was just spooning.
One of them goes, I don't know.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yeah, cock-a-doodle-doo, and the other one's a doodle-cock.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I would
like we're circling it, but...
Yeah, good night, right.
Yeah.
What do a vibrator and a farmer's alarm clock have in common? They're both electronic replacements 4 cocks. You were dancing around it.
Yeah.
But before I go, I got to tell you a little story, actually. I want you to picture this, okay? The other day, we were at home, me and the missus, okay? And I yelled to her, I say, hey, honey.
Ariana Grande.
Indeed. Hey, honey, come in here and check out my clock, huh? And she walks in, and she finds me standing there, completely stark naked, with a hard on. And she says, honey, hey, that's not a clock. And I said, yes, it is. Just needs 2 hands and a face on it. See you later, guys.
He rare form.
Rare form. Yeah. Well, he used to go to this.
Bye, Stats.
You missed him.
Yeah. He's just was right there.
He probably saw him on the.
Yeah, he told me about his clock impression.
Yeah. Rare form.
Where are we?
I don't know, man.
I never know. After the very serious rundown of Dark State, we need something to lighten the mood a little bit. And we go backstage, and Hank and Tank are there, but they're wearing different outfits. They're wearing super crop tops, and it pans to reveal
It's a good gag, that.
Yeah.
Pretty Deadly. Hey, yes, boy! Kit and Elton are there, former tag champs in NXT, former NXT UK tag champs, of course, and they're trying to help Hank and Tank.
Hang on, you just referenced NXT UK.
Uh-huh.
What other podcast? Remember I'm interested in when the last time that was ever referenced on any podcast.
That's a good point.
I mean, what a disaster.
I know where it might be getting referenced. Anyone that's aggregating the story where, like, Mandy Rose is angry that she was like, why are we acknowledging me as a double champion?
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
Unified, it's different. Sorry, Mandy. What? A different thing. Sorry, Mandy. It's totally different. 2 belts isn't.
There's a picture of me with 2 belts there.
Yeah, that's a different thing, Mandy.
Okay. Sorry. Elton says to them, if you want to be stars, you need to look like stars. They do a yes, boy. Basically says you have to feel it. And they start to feel something, but then the Ren QCC walk by and say, we feel like you're going to get your heads caved in a minute. And Hank and Tank rip off the gear. PD says, you still got this.
I like Pretty Deadly a lot.
I love this gimmick now of Hank and Tank having a new tag team every week. So they've had Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys, yeah.
Motor City Machine Guns. Pretty Deadly. So we've got a game next week. Who next? We'll help
next?
It's going to be DIY.
Try to be boring.
Why don't you try peaking 7 years ago and still being around? It seems to work out for us.
War Raiders. Viking maybe.
Yeah.
You could be a boat.
You could be anything. You could even be a boat.
But I'm a tank. No, it'd be a boat. It'd be better.
Tank and boat. London Sea.
It's drivel, all this.
I did like the vignette for the culling. Did you see this bit?
Yeah.
All saying how Sean Spears saved and got them together again. But my favourite of it was Izzy Dame saying, basically, remember our old favourites, the Roots and the Dream. 4 legs, 1 chair. So what about that? Is that a thing?
Is anything?
4 legs, 1 chair.
You know what people say about, like, stability in groups? 4 legs, 1 chair.
4 legs, 1 chair. I was like, I can't wait to talk to the boys about 4 legs, 1 chair.
Just like we say about copying homework. Imagine the homework you're copying. The
jisms. The jism.
Freaking hell, the jism.
The schism.
The friggin' 4 legs, 1 chair. So everyone's saying it.
Everyone says that.
Some legs have 3 chairs. No, God's sake, don't mention that.
That's when we set up the stool.
Call me the seat. Let's see what happens.
And Sean Spears never gets away because it's NXT and everything's on the nose and literal and still a little bit sexual. Like, he's still the guy that chairs a bit, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's always like in there.
Yeah.
God, I love me a chair.
And then we got
Pillmanizing his own cock.
Then we got Hang and Tank against Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights. God, I love Tavian Heights. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, usual fare, this.
In there, ding along.
They dropped Tavian Heights with a double team at one point and hit her. Yes, boy! And then they did it with a double elbow drop on Miles Bourne. Miles got a blind tag, though, to allow the Renki UCC to take over. So Tavian got sent to the outside, but Bourne clothesline Hank over the top. Hank's in trouble. Eventually gets away from Tavian, though, and gets the hot tag. Tank just flies all over the place. Looked great in there. Belly to belly. Goes to the apron, clotheslines Miles into the ring. Springboard splash. Springboard flying tackle to Tavian Heights. A spine buster. But Miles Bourne breaks it up. And they go for their finish, but Miles Bourne knocks Hank over the top, and the Renki UCC hit a DDT with off of Heights' shoulders for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Match was just a match, wasn't it?
It's the same routine. Hyperactive guys, kind of in or over their own heads. And, they lose with a bloody rookie error again.
The tag thing it's a cute bit. I don't mind seeing a bit more of this.
It's the same match they have every single friggin' week.
How have we not considered the most obvious of the lot? Who's booking? And what does he do? He books his own career. What if he gets Marty in for a 1 week, one shot? And rather than actually booking him with something to do with say, like, where are these? And it's his old Rockers gear, and they come out dressed as a Rockers.
Yeah, I don't think Marty's doing too hot.
Moving on, Trick Williams comes out. Trick Williams grabs a mic. Oh, sorry?
That's not funny.
I'm just laughing at Wilbourn. Yeah. Funny guy.
He said he called Ober out to meet him. Hasn't heard from him since. But don't get it twisted. Even if Ober's the champion, he's still the man here in NXT. He fought for this, sacrificed for this. He lost a brother for this. He did all that for this to become the Trick Williams show. Every Tuesday, the CW network becomes the TW network. That was a nice line. But it all comes at a cost. You can feel the hate in the back. They don't want him to shine or get to the top, and then he's interrupted by Javon Evans. Trick says, don't interrupt me. I know why you're upset, but it's Stand and Deliver season. Time for the grown-ups to talk. Oh, prick. Javon says, I understand you now. You knew it when it was your time. I know what spot you're in because the spot that I'm in, because you were in it last year. Trick became NXT's golden child, and just like him, he now wants the number one spot. But the difference is he didn't need to break out of anyone's shadow to get the spot. Ooh. Trick says, well, hey, you're in my shadow right now, you prick. What do you know about having a title or becoming the A champion? Just winning the title is one thing. Carrying it is something else. I know how to do it. I'm one of one. John says, you don't know who the hell you are. You're not Trick Williams. You're Carmelo Hayes. You're saying everything that Melo said. You're a hypocrite. And no one's done what I can do, and that's drop Obafemi. And Obafemi, he comes out, tells Javon to say it to his face. Lucky shot. You'll never do that again. Javon says, come on, we all remember NXT Deadline. Oh, we do. Bloody hell, we do. I only needed a second to change history. You wouldn't have beaten Trick because I'd have been in your spot. I'll drop your ass again to become a champion in Vegas. Trick starts to fire back, but Ober tells Trick to shut up because the champ is speaking. Javon, you may be the future of NXT, says Obafemi, but you live in the present and now, and the now belongs to Obafemi. Trick's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Stand and deliver, Trick versus Ober. Javon, excuse yourself, get out of here. Ober says, Trick, if you spent less time talking, you'd be the champion now, but you're not. Out comes Ava! And she says, at Stand and Deliver, Obafemi will defend the title against Trick Williams. And Javon Evans in a triple threat match. And Trick pissed off.
Not another one.
Nails Javon. Ober brawls with Trick. Sends him to the floor. Dark State appear. They jump into the ring. They attack Ober. They attack Javon. They beat them down. They do a nice spot where they catapult Javon into a backdrop.
It's a good spot, that.
They sent Ober to the outside. Lights come back up. Oh, my God. It's Trick Williams. But they haven't attacked him yet. But then they do. They jump him, beat him down. And they do the throw into a shield powerbomb, basically, and Dark State stand tall.
Do you know what?
Dark State.
All of this charmed me.
Did it?
Yep. For me, all of this was an example of them repeatedly dragging victory from the jaws of defeat, pretty much in every respect. A triple threat. I've got enough for them at the moment. Don't need any more. Actually want this one.
Yeah.
Didn't want Trick Williams versus Obafemi. Wasn't feeling it. Javon Evans tends to be in a multi-man match the perfect a bit of seasoning. Like he can just offer, like he changes the dynamic in all the sort of best ways, and you can obscure what he hasn't yet put together. So he's kind of like the perfect guy for it, and you can buy him, as we saw last year at Heatwave. God, like this is the underdog story that might come off well earlier than you imagine. He could do it. He could win the title. Of all people dethroning Obafemi, that'd be pretty awesome. The Trick Williams heel turn shouldn't be happening. It's not what should be happening, like, based on the last, 2 years of him being beloved and awesome. It's a fumble, to use that word. Like, it is an absolute fumble there in the position that feel like they're having to do something so radical with him to get him back over again. But I liked it. I actually enjoyed him in this role this week, probably for the first time. It's, the Javon Evans effect. Being a wanker to everybody, I'm not really into it. Just really condescending, patronising attitude towards somebody that has shown the same flashes of talent that Trick Williams once had, and being so blind to the fact that he's kind of gone down the same path, I thought was quite effective. Obafemi should be angry, should be thinking, how dare the pair of yous look past me? You're not taking my title. I don't care what you do, because it's me.
Yeah.
I'm the ruler. I really like the individual motivations. It's weird, Dark State come out, and I just feel like I know all about them now. But they couldn't have looked better here, and whether it's a took my licks thing. Oh my God. I'm a bit of a, it's a Gabbo adjacent thing here, isn't it? It's like, what's the deal? Who's zooming who? And
who's zooming who? Are they in cahoots?
Easiest kind of hooks for a thicko like me to be like, well, I need to know that. So I'm going to look on with interest. I don't know who's going to win the title match. Honestly, I really, really like this as an entire main event scene from something I was sort of dreading.
Yeah.
Didn't want to watch Trick and Ober have a boring singles match, and I'm getting this instead with a bunch of other added details.
You're basically getting lots of toppings on a cake, lots of toppings on a pizza. I mean, it's
quantity is good because it's more.
I mean, I don't like anyone involved. Obafemi's like this tweener. Babyface, but only because they cheer him, not really in terms of conduct or storytelling. Trick Williams is just this really, it's just not him. It sounds like Javon Evans is a particularly good babyface in this context either. He's just whinging about Trick. You know what I mean? I don't like any of them, and it's just an overcomplicated mess.
I can't wait.
Good.
Best triple threat we're going to have across WrestleMania weekend.
Could be.
Do you reckon it's going to be the best three-way in April as well, do you?
Oh, probably.
Yeah,
without
because
question.
Kenny Omega's have one in there. Dynasty Dynasty.
Right, Andre Chase is getting checked over by medical. He suffered a cracked rib last week, but Doc's like, sorry to ask you this, have you got a ride home anywhere? And he says, I'm all alone. But then the boys show up, Uriah Connors and Carol Dixon. That's all right, Mr. Chase, we got your wheelchair. I'll sort you out. Chase to the boys, in fact, after everything.
Hey. You all right?
Then he tells him to wheel him backwards because he almost gets wheeled straight into Jada Parker and Jordan Grace brawling over backstage.
Is this Chase U going to just reopen with some new losers?
No, I think so.
Is that did they not really have a plan for any of this?
It's going to be all right in the end.
We're heading in that direction, aren't we?
Going to the classroom, cobwebs and stuff. Couldn't possibly.
We'll have some fun with it, I guess, in the previews.
Oh, I'll tell you who else we're going to have fun with. The new team that we get introduced to right here. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Right, there's the tag champs. It's Axiom. Nathan Fraser.
When I'm cleaning windows.
There with Hank and Tank. Nathan Fraser's like, whatever you thought you had, you lost it, amigos. Axiom's like, a bit rude. He said, oh, no, I envy those guys and their friendship that they have. Wish ours was like that. Hank and Tank like, bye. They leave. And then in come the new best tag team in town. They're called Swipe Right, ladies and gentlemen. They're from Evolve. It's Brad Baylor. It's Ricky Smokes. They're the hottest thing going around in Evolve. They see Fraxiom as a bit like their Hardy Boys. But they want to see how they measure up. Hondos. Fraser says, me and my amigo don't back down from a challenge you're on. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this show get any better? Swipe Right are like, yeah, nice one. By the way, you must absolutely bloody crush it with the ladies with those accents. And they just look at them. Roxanne Perez walks by, and one of them, I don't know which one it was, says, man, there's a lot of talent here. Hey, I'll tell you, Roxanne's a prodigy. She's also a smoke show. And the other guy says, "That's hundos for show, bro. See you guys next week." Well, we just found some new megastars, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, this Brad Baylor's a fucking I'll give him that. Like you, if you're watching LFG still, we're not really, but like, and someone like him shows up, it's like
Not at all.
Not one bit.
watching it at all.
Not one bit. But I haven't even seen the clips aggregated anymore. Seems to have fallen off real quick.
Real bait.
Yeah,
Bubba Ray trying to get this feud over with that little guy.
Yeah.
No one cares, mate. No one cares about what you do.
I don't know if I'm never watching Evolve. Jesus Christ, I don't know if Brad Baylor can work. Nothing. But I mean, look at that face. You're like, yeah, all right, how are you? How are you?
Get the intel from Mr. Developmental over here. Yeah, he loves. He watches. Misto was a huge Level Up.
Yeah, Level Up was kind of my show. I think the moment it changed, I kind of lost interest. I'm going to be honest.
So you don't know much about Evolve.
No, I don't know much about Evolve yet. I will get back into it. Being on the road recently.
I'm interested to hear all your thoughts on
I thought that was just why you looked swipe right. You were just excited for the corner.
Well,
First impressions here.
I thought
who will be from now on, from this moment on, really tracking their career.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'll be keeping an eye on Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes. Hundos for show, or whatever they say.
Hundos for show, bro. I believe it was. Nah, Brad Baylor was like, all right, yeah, you get to go with this, because, I mean, you got to see people kicking the shit out of him every week, all the time.
Yeah.
Just never get tired of it. Yeah, do that again. Then we got another qualifier for the Women's North American Championship match at Stand Delivery. And it was Roxanne Perez versus Kelani Jordan. They fought through a commercial break early. Kelani hit a big slap and an arm drag takedown. She hit a nice looking leg drop as Roxy was sort of draped in the ropes. Pulls Roxy into the center of the ring, but Roxanne Perez holds onto the apron. And as the ref fixes that, she goes the eyes, takes over, and sends Kelani into the corner and hyperextends her elbow by stomping down on it against the bottom turnbuckle. She also kicked out from a roll-up from Kelani Jordan and sent Kelani shoulder first into the corner. So she's working over the shoulder, she's working over the arm. She tries to do a knee drop, but Kelani dodges, lays in some shots, but Roxy goes back to the arm. She hits a Northern Light suplex and gets a good 2 count. She's pissed off. We go to a break again. When we come back, Kelani fights back, goes for a split-legged moonsault. She tried it a couple of times, but Roxanne moves and comes off the ropes to hit a nice cartwheel knee to the back of Kalani's head for a great near fall. Roxanne smacks Kelani, who fires up, hits her with some strikes. Roxanne hits a back kick, goes for pop rocks, but Kelani pops her off, basically.
Yeah, she jumped over her.
Yeah. Back kick to the knee and a DDT. Split-legged moonsault gets the 1-2-3 for Kelani Jordan.
I was thinking about this one more than I was feeling it, truthfully. I've got that a lot with Roxanne Perez at the moment. I love Roxanne Perez, but I am just like thinking about how good she is rather than believing anything. I don't know if it's because of the heel stuff, but like I'll watch her matches and I just appreciate, I don't want to call it the artistry, but I appreciate the work she puts in. She had it from day one, really. You could argue there's been zero development because you could see it from the very beginning that, like, Christ, she knows how to, like, put this stuff together and make everything mean stuff. She's got, like, the fantastic fundamentals.
Call her a prodigy.
That's right.
She's Smoke Show, too.
And then it's all character stuff and it's all, take an extra second emote and all that. But you can even see that happening and it kind of takes you out of the match because you can see the things they're trying to, like, add to it. I'm not against it, but it's still the fundamentals that I enjoy out of Roxanne Perez. And I just think you're only going to sort of like emotionally connect with it when she's been a babyface because you actually want to root for the wrestler that is understanding how to wrestle. Kelani Jordan having to try and put this like weird heelish edge on the stuff. It's like Rob Van Dam could never do it. And like she lifts a lot of stuff for Rob. Like not stealing, but like it's an affectionate, I do these things, he was an inspiration, I'm an
homage.
Like,
homage.
It's not dissimilar to like Wes Lee trying to do a double rotation moonsault with Reach. They're having to, like, it doesn't work really. You kind of have to like tweak your stuff a bit rather than simply do it with the scowl. So I'm not really buying her in this role either. So I was watching it and I was able to appreciate a lot of Roxanne Perez's craft, but I wasn't into it emotionally in any way, and I like both wrestlers, so I was a bit of disappointment on those terms.
Don't care about either of them, so I'm just going to judge the content of the match. Pretty good in places for me. I mean, that pop rocks was she just jumped over her, so that wasn't very good. But I like the little cartwheel thing. Yeah. I will say Kelani Jordan is still very much, she's one of the better actual PC homegrowns, not that there's many of them getting pushes, we'll get to that. But then she's still very much gymnast, / athlete first, a passable version of a wrestler second. Like, she's just this really convoluted springboard, a version of what Roxanne Perez did very well, and just the execution and the impact was so badly lacking. Roxanne Perez, I don't buy it. I don't buy the ring general thing, really. I think she's way more accomplished than a lot of other wrestlers in that system relative to them, as opposed to this great wrestler. I just don't believe the hype realistically. Wonder if they just didn't do the Charlotte Flairing her. If they didn't do that, would I be able to receive it a bit better? I don't know. But she was miles ahead, and I thought elements of this really impressed me.
We go to Ava's office. Well, it wasn't just one of her assistants there. Both of them were there, actually. It was Stevie Turner and someone else I couldn't recognize. It was
Robert Stone.
Stevie apologized for Swipe Right. And the other guy, what was his name again?
It's Robert Stone.
He wants to focus on Stand and Deliver, but Ava says, no, she says we need to focus on Dark State.
Focus on Dark State.
Any three of them will compete in a 6-man next week.
Say it again.
Any three of them will compete in a 6-man next week.
Line.
Any three of them will compete in a 6-man next week.
Any three of them will compete in a 6-man next week.
Against the people in the world title match. Obafemi, Javon Evans, Trick Williams.
Yeah, them guys.
That's a new bit.
Yeah.
She rocks that.
Rocking it ever.
Did you see?
Rocking rude.
Did you see the little sign on her desk that just said, "I am busy"?
Why?
When?
And more to the point, why?
Don't wake me up.
This is a bit with Zaria.
It's all right. Na, 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 na. It's all right. Na, 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 na. It's all right when you say bye your dad.
Saved by your dad, the new job.
Yeah.
She couldn't wrestle, so now she's GM.
I mean, I'm not being funny. Like, is it a meritocracy or a?
Well, no, but if you recall, she's the boss of nothing, actually, because she's not the final boss.
Yeah.
I'm the final boss.
No. When he's there, is she the final boss, and then he takes over being the final boss when she's not there.
All he had to do was be self-deprecating once and think, I'm the final boss, don't mess with her.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do.
No. I think I'm the final boss. I am. But sometimes she's the final boss, but not all the time. I'm the 95% of the time final boss right here. This one, if I'm not here, final boss.
More of this in the ring, probably. Gives 25 minutes.
Yeah, assistant to the final boss. So.
Zaria, Sol Ruka. Zaria wants Sol in their corner at Stand and Deliver, and Sol neglects to mention until Kelani Jordan comes in, basically saying, like, you see that out there? Sol's got a qualifier as well.
Against, I don't care. Sol Snatcher off a ladder probably again.
Yep.
Oh my God.
But it's going to be on Zaria, isn't it? She's going to just have to take the moment.
Yeah.
Zaria probably should have assumed she'd be in the tournament.
Yeah.
Not going well between those two, I don't think.
Oh, they've got a new name, though. Zaruka. Thoughts?
I mean, it sounds like Veruca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
They take ages to go away then.
Yep.
Bonjella.
That's going to be the name next week.
Yeah. Your teeth in it.
Oh, is that? Okay.
Bonjella's for like also
Bazooka that Veruca.
Bazooka that Veruca.
Because it rhymes.
Yeah.
Good stuff from the Bazooka guys.
Yeah, name for a product. What does he do? Tackle Verucas.
Foot spot gel. That doesn't rhyme.
Leg grenade. No, it doesn't.
Shut up, man.
Bazooka.
Just before the main event.
Not a best bit.
Star.
Oh, there's a bit with Dark State as well. They're down for next week's match.
Down for it, are they?
Yeah. They're not. No one's safe, they say.
And they're kind of like, have you noticed any mafia lads following you or going through your personal paperwork? Funny show. Good show, this.
We get an interview with Ricky Starks ahead of the main event.
Who?
Sorry, not Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, it's because he got fumbled in the other company. That's why. It'll take more than last week's shot to take him out. He's not looking at the past, he's focused on the future, and everyone will see that Revolution is indeed televised when he wins the title. And then we get Ricky Saints versus the North American champion Shawn Spears with the killing at ringside. No messing about here. Jump start. He chases Spears to the outside, bats him around the ringside, hits chops against the guardrail, jumps off the apron, but Spears nails him in the gut.
What was he going for there?
Just like an axe handle because he goes for it in a minute. Saints comes back with a backdrop.
Like he didn't try very hard.
I know, because what's the guy's the North American champion for a reason, mate. He goes up on the guardrail, does the old strut, does the leaping shot to the head, and poses as we go to a break. When we come back, Spears is in control, but Ricky fights back, tries for a superplex, but Spears fights. They're fighting on the top turnbuckle. And Saints hits a super jackhammer off the top. He also hits an enziguri, a diving elbow in the corner, and a spine buster. Goes for Rochambeau, but Spears escapes and goes outside. Saints goes after him, hits the tornado DDT on the floor. He rolls Spears back in. There's Nico, though, up on the apron to distract the ref. Izzy Dame slides the title in. Oh, no. Title shot from Shawn Spears. 1, 2. Ricky Saints kicks out. The match isn't over. Spears is frustrated. He tells Saints he made him do this. Goes for this C4, but Saints gets out of it. Hits his own C4. Brings Jensen into the ring. Clocks Nico off the apron. Takes both of them out, running around ringside, runs back in, Spear, Rochambeau, 1, 2, 3, Ricky Saints is North American champion, but before he can properly celebrate, Ethan Page runs in and drops him to stand over him as the show goes off the air.
I like the committed booking with Ricky Saints. Like, no pissing about, basically. That's how this character stays over. We said it was going to be a job for him to maintain his star aura on this show. And one of the ways you can help that is by giving him a belt and making him just see through his things and not, if he'd have been cheated out of it, he's still lost or he's still not backed up his promises, so it becomes all the more difficult even if he wins the Stips Up rematch. So he's just done it. I like that. I mean, this was levels above what you get on NXT, but I still can't really work out how many levels because
a few levels before Rampage, probably.
Yeah, like the quality is often through the floor on the show in ring-wise. So this was like fine. But it was nothing special as a match. Nothing special.
You'll find way better matches every single week than this.
Yeah.
Every single week.
Yeah.
It was effective for that crowd in that context.
And Saints continues to sort of...
He's got a good, sense of he'll always link his stuff together.
Yeah.
He can sell and emote.
Whatever the agent is, like, and even in the Ridge Holland match, like, he does grab hold of these things, doesn't he? Like, he's not... I'm just going to say it again. He's not pissing about just like they're not. I think you sense that he kind of wants this to be done as quick as possible. He accepts that this is going to be his route to whatever he wants out of WWE, and he's not going to blow it. And but he wants to he wants to show himself to be levels and levels above everybody else, and he works at that. And on those terms, it's success. But just the match was nothing to write home about.
Yeah, nothing to write home about. But I think it was really effective for what it was. And Ricky Saints, I'll put over because you can tell he is a wrestler who studies a lot of tape and who knows how it should be done. And he will often just take those little moments to clutch at the back that's been worked over. 10 seconds later, he is a wrestler who will perform in every moment like he's been in a match, in a struggle. He will make those little body language adjustments, those little tweaks, just those little touches to make it seem like he's in a battle. Like, he knows how to do that. He's always been really good at that. Every now and then I'll treat myself. When you got I could just go with a takeaway tonight, or I could go for more beers than I intended, like this guy last night. I'm going to treat myself to a bit of a hate tribalism. I do try and not podcast or write in a reactive way. What about this? Stupid. I try not to do that. Because what are we doing here? Yeah. It's just, but feel like just ordering a bit of fast food, so I'm going to friggin' do it right. I hate a lot of wrestling fans, and I'm so glad the 2FL when it did. I met so many awesome ones, and you realize, the real life ones are awesome and they're great to meet. And I had conversations with people come up to you in a Yeet t-shirt. I know what's happening here. Sidge, you're all right. Pleased to meet you. You're miserable, but you're entertaining with it or whatever. And it's you can actually have dialogue and conversation, a nice bloody time with people who, disagree with your wrestling opinions.
Yeah.
These things exist. I'm trying to think who are the worst. I hate the AEW sexuals, me.
Mm-hmm.
Very soft, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Very soft, very defensive, I think the WWE ones might be worse. I don't know. It's a battle.
It's
a raging battle.
nip and tuck, isn't it? You only have 1 week from like taking back over ever.
It's just, I mean, you can't be like this. You can't, and I hate myself. Just switch off. Switch this off, by the way. We're nearly at the end. Follow me at Sidgwick, at Michael Hamflett, at Adam Wilbourn, at It's Adam Nicholas. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE and subscribe and listen and all the rest of it. Because I hate lowering myself to this, really, because, I mean, so we go from, the rules change all the time.
Yeah.
Depending on what side you're on, okay? So the rules go from, AEW, you know, I got Moxley. But, you know, I got the Elite and Darby Allin and MJF, and that's the original core that you're building around. But then they get Mr. Brody Lee. And then they get, you're signing Miro. And you're signing, FTR. And Shawn Spears, who's now been fumbled. Right, but when he goes to AEW, it's like, just a bunch of ex-WWE guys. Just a bunch of ex-WWE guys. These awesome ex-AEW guys fumbled them. I hate you so much. Tony fumbled. This is a Rampage main event. A Rampage main event. Building to a Rampage main event. I mean, I just hate you all. And I just want to express that sometimes, you know? It's just, Tony fumbled. I thought it was too many ex-WWE guys, and it's not allowed for people to jump. They can jump if they've been fumbled. But they got fumbled in WWE. Now there's too many ex-WWE. It's the worst. It is the worst. And it's got to the thing where it's like, I could easily make the personal decision to just leave Twitter. Hard when you try to promote work and try to like engage with an actual good audience that we have. So I'm not going to do that. But it is a swamp, and it does kind of drive me nuts. And fumbled. Too many ex-WWE guys. Yeah, you allowed them at the fumble. But the fumble, Tony fumbled. Tony fumbled. Like, off. You losers. Absolute far-right activity is what it is.
Yeah.
Rules change when it suits you.
Yeah, 100%.
Off.
The
pathetic losers.
It's because it's the NXT Performance Center crowd in particular as well.
No, that's the thing. That's the point. I drifted away from my point, but I'm not going to do it off Twitter. I will never really tweet about Discourse if something comes up, like the ratings thing, like this Max thing. I never tweet about it, even to be above it. Just I couldn't care less, really. Yeah. But it's when it's like in the product in front of you of Tony fumbled. You were saying about the exact same guy, Shawn Spears, that I used a WWE cast off, but now he got fumbled.
Yeah. You live near the happiest place on earth. You don't sound very happy about it. Like,
just get a life. Get a life. I'm done. I'm sorry.
It's a big shame that NXT doesn't really foster jobbers. There's just a pecking order of wrestlers, because bringing out a wrestler called Tony Fumble,
I know,
and him being some like clown shoes idiot, like can barely walk in a straight line, let alone wrestle. And what do you think your chances are tonight, Tony Fumble? Great, and just gets his ass handed to him. You know, but
and it's just it's one thing where it's like, at least I'm going to be a little bit earnest for this point. No one cares, and I should just stop listening to me, please. Mr. Brody Lee isn't getting the TNT title within 3 weeks. Kind of has to really get over first. Ditto Miro. Like Vaquer, Saints, Spears, Ethan Page. Like, what a terrible system if they're just the second they get someone who didn't really set the world on fire. Vaquer and Saints, different. But like Spears and Page, like, it didn't set the world on fire, realistically. Get the title on them. But they're an ex-AEW cast-off. What do you do? I just... Honestly, but it's when it's in your face getting chanted, it does get a little bit annoying.
And there's like the point here as well, other than the AEW WWE thing.
I hate myself.
It is a bit Shawn Michaels having his Triple H PWG moment, isn't it? Increasingly.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking up and down and you're sort of able to run that list of names, there's nothing wrong in having this diverse mix of wrestlers in your developmental, because you need the people to train the ones that haven't got as much experience. But the fact that you're actively pushing them.
Yeah.
It's not just like, they're not all player coaches. 3/4 of them are your featured players, and that says something. I think the main event, they've
got Obafemi.
Yeah, like I was going to say that Obafemi.
And again, they're not lucky. They're not anything. They'll always win. Like, who cares about the optics when it can just change the narrative whenever you want?
Yeah.
So they're not lucky. They're not anything. It's just the Fed.
Well, there's any thoughts on NXT in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Where you can follow all four of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
I'm sorry.
to apologise at M Sidgwick for him. You can follow our brilliant producer Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
and you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE and make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. The Dynamite preview is available right now, but for now this has been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick, to Stacks. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.